Hey, you guys, this is Courtney Camaro. I'm outside of Muhammad Ali's real original home. We're in Chicago, and I wanted to shout out Al's Botanics and Herbs. Man, when I tell you, I am one of those people that has insomnia. I can't sleep. I can't focus on some days because I'm so sleep deprived, and this has helped. This is one of the mixtures he has that helps with sleep.
What's going on? This is another episode of Kaizen Talk. Hopefully the music is not too loud. Um this is called What to Do Now. Like, this is just something that I wanted to just put out, like, as far as people that's just kind of clueless, don't really know what to do, just what I would do as far as, like, right now, okay? With how things are going on in the world geopolitically, just, where you at as far as your finances, goals and everything like that. So here's the thing, right? And these are some of the things that I do. And I do practice Kaizen. I really have no other choice but to, because if you trying to make it, if you trying to go from, basically, to be, go from zero to a hero type of, if you're trying to do that, you have to improve every single day in order to achieve a goal, of, let's say, going from zero to $1 million, or zero to $10,000, or $100,000. Okay, so financially speaking, because most people have financial problems. Okay, I'm gonna start off with finance, and then I'm gonna move to health. I'm gonna move to, just different philosophies and things that I do, to kind of, help me improve. So first off, financially speaking, this is some things that you want to implement. Okay, these are not in any particular order. This is just a recommendation. All right. So the first order of business, and I've talked about this before, but you want to get you a water bottle, like a Hinkley and Schmidt, like one of those office water cooler bottles. You want to get an empty one. Now, it's a couple ways you can get an empty one. You could actually buy one. You can just go to the local grocery store and you can just buy one that's full. And, basically, I don't know if you got a pool or something, if you just need if you definitely want to keep the water if possible. I don't know if you want to get a couple water jugs and just fill them up or whatever. But anyway, the whole point is you need that jar because you want to start saving loose change in it. This is like your like your kid, like a kid version of savings. Like, when people always say, I don't have anything to save, I'm living check to check. Well, at the very least, you want to have you a kitty style piggy bank, but not like a actual piggy bank, but just have something that you can have change in, that you could put your loose change in. Some people might go to the laundromat and then you use quarters or whatever. You just, whatever loose change that you have when you come in your house every day, you put that in the Hinkley and Schmidt jar. What will this do? Why do you do this? Well, this is for those people that are living check to check. And, eventually, that change is gonna build up. It's gonna build up to like $100, $50. Before you know it, you'll have at least a couple $100 over a couple years. You're gonna have that in this jar. You can use it as you need or for emergencies or what have you. Next savings is you want to get you a savings book. Okay, there's a you can get it on Amazon, you can get it on Temu, you can get it on eBay. It's called basically 100-day money savings challenge. It's basically a book that's numbered. It's like a trading card book, right? And it's numbered from 1 to 100. You want to get that book and you want to start saving cash in it. So the goal, if you get the 1 through 100, if you could start off with $1 to $100. Okay, every day, you want to put money in that book. So what will happen with this? With this book, this book alone, you can actually stop living check to check with just this book. Because basically, in theory, you start off with $1, and then you go up to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, all the way to $100. By the time you get to $100, you'll have $5,000 in your money book. You want to keep it in a safe place that nobody knows. You want to hide it away, and that book is for you. All of this is based off of you not living check to check. Okay, so that's the first order of business. You get you a change, something to store change in. I recommend a Hinckley and Schmidt water bottle, the office cooler type. Then you want to get you a money book, and you want to start saving money in that book. Second, once you get to that point where you got the change, you got money in your money book, you are going to basically, if you don't already have a savings account, you want to have a standalone savings account. Okay, why, broke genius Abdul? Why a standalone savings account, you ask? Because you don't want it tied into your checking account. The reason being is, if you have a savings account that's tied into your checking, which most people have that, you're going to probably utilize that money fast, and you're not going to be able to save much from it. So you want to have a standalone separate savings account that you don't have any ATM card, it's not tied into your checking account or anything, to where you could do an easy transfer. The theory is it's going to take you a day or two to transfer that money. So you won't do it unless you estimate that you know that you need the money. So it's kind of like having money that it's like having, a parent, where you ask your parent for money, and basically they'll tell you, I'll give it to you tomorrow. Well, you want, you'll have to wait for it, and you just basically you won't be asking all the time, but you'll ask, and if it's gonna take time for you to get it, so you're only gonna take it out if you really, really need it. And it's separate from your checking, so it's not tied into your checking, it's separate, so it's emergencies only. So the thing is, with this checking account, what you're gonna do, and this is for people that's living check to check. This is how you bust this. These are things that I do. So first off, what you want to do is you want to set up from your savings account to automatically, with basically the deposit $10 every time you get paid. If you could do 20, do 20. If you could do 50, do 50. If you could do 100, do 100. Whatever you can afford. Transfer that money in a savings account, and every time you get paid, that money will go into your savings account automatically. So as soon as you get paid, so for example, if you get paid on Friday, you want to set up your account, your savings account, to do a deposit every Thursday. So by the time Thursday comes, it's going to initiate the deposit, and it'll come through Friday morning through your account. So it'll automatically time the time you get paid, which is Friday, by setting up an ACH deposit every Thursday. So in theory with this, so you have your change, you have your loose change, you have your money book, and then you have $10 to $20 or more coming out of your direct deposit from your job. You got that coming out every time you get paid. And over time, this is not gonna be like rapid results. It's going to take some time to get this together to where you're not check to check. It's probably gonna take you 90 days to 6 months or longer for you to get out of the check to check lifestyle, because it took some time for you to get to this point, and it's going to take you some time to get out. It's not going to take you as long as you've been living check to check, but it's going to take some time to, basically reverse this cycle and to get you in a better financial footing. So in theory, depending on every time you get paid, you'll start seeing your savings account grow. Okay. If you need anything from it, you can set up a withdrawal, and you just know it's going to take you a day before you get that money. So in theory, like I said, about 3 to 6 months, you should have enough money in your checking account for like an emergency. So in theory, you should have at least one paycheck, or at least one day of your pay. Like if you get paid, if you make $200 a day, you should probably have that in your account within, let's just say, 3 months or so. So eventually you're going to have at least one day in your account, one day's pay, and you're going to be working towards at least having 1 week's pay in your savings account. So if you get paid $1,000, $2,000 a week, you'll have you in theory, over, let's just say, a year's time or two, you'll have that in your savings account. So by that logic, you will not be check to check any longer. So you'll have change, you'll have money in your money book, and you'll have your rainy day emergency fund savings account, which that's what this is. You'll have that to at least make, for starters, what you would make normally in one day, and in theory, over a long period, what you would have from each paycheck saved into your savings account, as long as you don't touch it and let it grow over time. Now, financially speaking, is some things that you can do to help you from not being so close to being check to check, to trim your finances down. There's some things you could do. So first thing is, any subscriptions you have, try to cancel those. Write a list of your budget and all of your subscriptions that you pay for, everything that you pay for monthly. If it's something that you can cancel, you need to really consider canceling it. Any subscription, any fees, if you have overdraft, call your bank and ask them to refund some of those overdraft fees that they have charged you. Just ask. I think every year you get so many that you can get returned. I don't know how many, but every bank has the ability to reverse some of those overdraft fees. So basically, once you minimize your budget and eliminate certain budget items like subscriptions, maybe lower your cell phone bill by going prepaid, even your internet and cable by going prepaid, the savings from that will net you more money every month. Okay. So by doing that, you'll free up some extra cash so you can save more and not have to touch your savings and go in your money book or going in your loose change. You'll have more money in your after your paycheck. Okay. So after you do those three things, let's just say theoretically you're doing a good job, and then now you notice that you're no longer check to check. You have the equivalent, let's just say 9 months to a year past. You have the equivalent of at least one of your full paychecks in your savings account. You have quite a sizable amount of money in your savings book, and you've been saving your change regularly. So now what you could do is, instead of whatever amount that you were saving in your savings account, you want to see if you can double your automatic deposits. So let's just say your deposits was $50. You might you if you can, and you should be able to, you should be able to bump that up to $100. If you had it at $100 already, you should be able to bump it up to $200. So now you're able to save more money, and you're able to break further away from being check to check. Now, the final end game here is, you already probably thought about this, you want to have your entire salary that you make every year, you want to have that in savings. The goal is, this is the goal. The goal is, first, the theory is like this. First, you want to have at least your day's pay in your savings account. Then you want to have your entire paycheck in your savings account, like whatever you get paid every 2 weeks, every week, or whatever, you want to have that in your account. The second goal should be having your entire monthly paycheck in your account. Whatever you make monthly, that should be in your savings account. And after monthly, this might take you some time to do this, okay? It might take you a long time to do this. But the goal should be, all right, I have my full year salary in my savings account now, okay? And then at that point, you might want to, look into some investing, so your money can, you'll take more risk, but your money can grow. Because the savings account, even at 4%, it's okay, but you want to maximize your returns. So you want to, invest that money so you can make some more returns. You could look into getting some ATM machines, vending machines, do something, I don't know, sell hot dogs, sell barbecue, on the weekends or something like that. You want to make some extra money with that money that you have. You want to use that money to make more money. But yes, the goal is to have that income that you make in your savings account for that you make the whole year. And then what you want to do is by that point, you want to push it up to 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, to the point where you got 20 years of your pay. Now you technically have enough money to retire at that point. Even if you got it to the point where you saved your income for 10 years, what you would make for 10 years, you somehow invested and made it to the point where you have the money that you would normally make from your job, in as far as a 10-year period, you saved that. Well, technically, you kind of halfway to the point where you have enough money to retire early when you get to that point. The goal is to have at least about 20 years of your income that you have accumulated by savings and investing, and you'll basically be able to retire possibly. If not, you have a better financial footing than most Americans. Okay. And you're definitely far away from living check to check. Now, before you get to all of that point, that savings, once you got to the point where you've able to double your savings, you the savings account that you have tied to your checking account, you want to set that up to automatically every time you get paid, put some money in that savings so you can basically balloon that savings account to be like a rainy day fund. It'll be like a rainy day, or um some type of, if not nothing else, um a overdraft savings account. So in case you overdraft, that money could be taken out of your savings account that's tied into your checking. And over time it'll have, basically balloon up to the point where you're very, very comfortable, uh financially speaking, to where, okay, you have a sizable amount in your rainy day fund, and then also you have money in your emergency fund. Because here's the thing, what I'm trying to show you is how to slowly become wealthy over time. One of the things about wealth and riches, you always hear someone say, have you want to have a diversified portfolio. Well, that's what I'm trying to show you from the ground up, how to diversify your finances. So you have change that you've been saving, you got a money book, you got an emergency fund, and you have a rainy day fund. So you have basically about four savings accounts. Okay, you got one that is your change. That's like a, kind of a kitty account, a kitty way of saving money. Then you have your money book. Then you have your emergency fund, and you have your rainy day fund, that's your savings account that's attached to your checking account. With all of this, you obliterate the check to check lifestyle. Absolutely obliterate it. Okay, because you also minimize your finances. You came up with some plan to pay your car off, to stop paying car notes. Maybe at some point in time, you've paid your car off, and then you didn't get a new car because that's another monthly bill, and then you can use extra money possibly to, instead of paying one, if you got a mortgage, instead of paying one monthly payment, you're paying two, because you basically you want to get that paid up real quick. What's going on, Snowman? Um, I was just watching. I was watching the Golden State and Dallas game. Oh my God, the ending of it was really really rough. So apparently Moses, I noticed something. They had a wet spot on that floor, and people were slipping and falling all over the place. And then Moses Moody came down. He stole the ball and was going to go dunk it, and I mean, man, his kneecap, he twisted his knee, and his knee was popping. His kneecap was popping out of his kneecap. It was a gruesome thing to see, and I saw it watching that game, and it was nasty. But yeah, I'm doing all right, man. I'm just just talking about some financial strategies for those that are living check to check. So yeah, after you have this rainy day fund, you have your emergency fund, and you got your checking account attached to your emergency fund for like overdrafts and everything like that. What you want to do, and then you also minimize your uh um expenses as much as best as you possibly can. You trimmed your budget with unnecessary subscription and monthly expenses as much as you possibly can. Okay, now you should be at the point where you definitely are not check to check, and you have a better financial outlook. You understand the goal is to increase wealth, increase assets, and decrease liabilities. That is the goal. That is how the rich prosper. That is the recipe for success, for financial success. Increased assets, decreased liabilities. Liabilities is what kills wealth. What kills opportunity, for any opportunity to get wealthy, is with a lot of liabilities. Like when you go get a car at the car lot and get a car loan, that car is a liability. Even a house is definitely just a place you live. It's not an asset yet until you own it. So it's just basically you're paying rent to the mortgage company. You don't own the house. You might build up some equity if your neighborhood is decent and property values are increasing. You can build up some equity. That house is no longer an asset until you own it. So you basically want to decrease all possible liabilities as you possibly can. Okay. And eventually you want to again use some of that money to learn how to invest. You might, the first easiest way you can do invest your money is do what you know how to do. Okay. If you know how to bake pies and cakes, okay, use some of that money to buy some flour, some sugar, cornstarch, or whatever you need to basically cook pies and cakes on the side. So you can create a website, or you can create a portfolio of pictures, a menu of different items that you make. You could start with Facebook, broadcasting on Facebook that I make these pies and blah blah blah, and you can come and pick them up at this location, and we deliver, or something like that. and basically sell to your local friends and family and anybody that's interested in your pies and your cakes and cookies or whatever, your baked goods. You could also go to a farmer's market. Farmer's market, you can sell all the cookies and pies and cakes that you want to make. Um, if you're a guy and you want to, do something, go get you a swimming pool, little kiddie pool. This is a true story. I'm giving you free game right here. Go get you a kiddie pool, and then go on Chat GPT or AI to and let them know. Do a prompt. The prompt will be as follows. I have a little kiddie pool, and I want to farm raise catfish in this kiddie pool. What do I need to have a successful catfish farm with this little kiddie pool? And this kiddie pool is going to be somewhere in your basement, or when the weather gets warm. The weather is getting warm right now. You can have it outside, but you got to have something to cover it. So basically, you can have it outside, and you just got to have some place to cover it. You can have it in a garage or a basement, ideally a basement. And basically, with this kiddie pool, you're going to farm raise catfish. It's just going to be for starters. So eventually, you're going to need a bigger pool, and you're going to basically, you're going to need a more equipment, right? But you're going to start off with this kiddie pool, and you're going to get some, baby catfish to start. And after a while, the catfishes are going to start getting big, and they're going to start multiplying, and you're going to have a whole bunch of catfish, swarming in this kiddie pool. You got to feed them. You got to feed them once a day, get them big and everything. And then you're going to, basically have a net so you can take them out and harvest them. So what are you gonna do with all of this catfish, all these catfish fillets and steaks and everything? You're gonna do the same thing as a woman would do. You're gonna go to the farmer's market and you're gonna sell these catfish fillets. Or you're gonna also broadcast on Facebook or social media somewhere that you have farm raised catfish and you deliver in your local area. And all of this stuff doesn't cost that much, and people gonna be hungry, and people like catfish, especially African Americans. African Americans love catfish. It's part of our like culture. It's part of soul food. Our soul food tradition is to eat catfish. Everybody likes catfish, right? So basically, this is what you could do. Now, the same thing I basically said about catfish, you can do with also shrimp. You can farm raise shrimp. So you can actually have two kiddie pools. You can have one for farm raised shrimp. Ideally, you want to look into tiger prawns. So tiger prawns are these big ass shrimp that are probably more native to Thailand, but you can grow them anywhere, and you could basically farm raise shrimp. Okay. Um, you just do the same thing, look up Chat GPT and ask them, and they also got books on this as well. You can go to a library, you can look up books or whatever on how to do this. But basically, you want to farm raise tiger shrimp. Okay, the big old shrimps is about the size of your hand. You want to grow those, and you're gonna sell those the same way. You could actually create a website, and you could sell off of your website. You could create a website, and you could basically ship it. You could ship nationally, anywhere in America. All you have to do is to uh to ship frozen goods. I mean, obviously, got to freeze it And then you got to put basically some like dry ice. You got to ship with dry ice, and you gotta have the people paid for next day shipping, next day air shipping. So they're gonna have to you're gonna have to spend a premium for next day air shipping. Okay. Um and basically by the time they get it, it should still be fresh, and it should still be frozen within 24-hour period. All right, so that's what you do. For those that don't know how to invest, you just basically invest in business. You start a business. There you go. Right? Between two of those are kind of like, I went to the farms and like, I went Amish and shit like that because it's easy to do those things. It doesn't really require much. If you're not already a woman and you know how to cook, you already know how to cook food, you know how to bake cakes and cookies and pies. You just sell them to people, for a slice, or you could sell the whole pie, the whole cake, all of those things. Okay. To make the goal is to make extra money so you don't live check to check anymore. So you don't have to touch your money from your job. You can save more, or you can basically deposit the money from your cake sales and your catfish sales into your bank account, and you're not, you're flush with cash. The goal is to be flush with cash, uh flush with stacks and stacks of money. Okay, that's the goal. We get this is about how to get out of the check to check lifestyle. Okay, what to do now. A lot of people are living check to check. Okay, so that pretty much explains the finance part. All right, health. All right, what should you do with health? Okay, a lot of people overweight. You need to start walking. It's starting to get warm again. You want to walk about a mile, a half a mile every day. You want to every day take a walk. If you got a loved one, you got a wife, girlfriend, y'all go take a walk together. And then you want to get multivitamins. And when you get older, a lot of people struggle with iron deficiency, vitamin D deficiency, vitamin B deficiency, magnesium deficiency, and also zinc and potassium deficiency. So what you want to do is you want to load up on certain fruits. You want to have bananas. Bananas are loaded with potassium. And also you want to basically get those supplements separately. You want to get all of those supplements separately. Okay. And you want to take magnesium at night before you go to bed. Magnesium helps you get on a regular sleep cycle. It helps boost the circadian rhythm. Okay, helps you sleep better, sleep through the night. Magnesium. A lot of people are suffering from magnesium deficiency and wonder why they can't sleep at night, because when you're younger, you have more magnesium naturally. But when you get older, you struggle, the body struggles to uh, basically create magnesium. So you have to use supplements to boost those deficiencies. Or you can eat, turkey. Turkey is loaded with magnesium. Also bananas have magnesium in them. Milk has magnesium. Certain like chocolate, dark chocolate has magnesium in it. So certain foods have magnesium in it. But when we get older, a lot of older people have like 35 plus starts to get mineral deficiencies. It just comes with age. Okay. So that's that. And as far as philosophy, I would say lean into stoicism. You probably already are leaning into stoicism because life is tough and that's just how you manage. Just kind of lean into it. Don't run away from it. Just lean into it. Lean into stoicism. Lean into the toughness of life. Deal with the toughness of life and embrace it. Don't run from it. Just deal with life as best as you can and be tough about it. Learn how to be tough with tough times. Just be tough in general. After a while, you'll create a shell. Your body will create a shell of just hard layeredness to where things don't bother you, other people don't bother you, just life in general does not bother you as much. And with these things, you'll have better results, a lot of better results. And don't be afraid of AI. I use AI a lot. Um, I just recently created the last thing that I created was really cool. Was I created a Python tool to basically download YouTube videos and edit them at the same time. So it just basically the program, it asks me what the YouTube video that I want to clip, and then what's the time stamp that I want to start and end the video, and boom, it just goes and creates it. So no, you know what I used to have to do before? I used to have to download the YouTube video or any other video and actually edit the video manually, and then create the video and then upload it. Now I just got one tool that does everything for me, and by the time it's downloaded, it's already done. So that's just to create like little shorts and reels and stuff like that. So that's came from AI. I got the idea from AI. The code and everything came from AI. So don't be afraid of AI. Like, you need to really be using that to try to make as much money as you possibly can so you can exit this matrix. That's the goal, to make as much money as you can to exit stage left. Let the young people deal with this shit. Let them put their dues in and get them to work and everything. You create some type of like system to make some more money to improve your life or whatever. That's what AI is for. It's actually AI is a tool for the man or woman that's the least of the as far as money wise, because you can create something and you don't have to worry about, you don't have to ask a friend, hey, can you do this for me, or can you tell me this? AI will do it for you. It'll tell you, something without you, having to beg and bother people, that's most likely doing better than you. You can use this tool for your benefit to improve your status in life. Okay. So um that's all I have for you. Continuously improve your life with Kaizen. This is a Kaizen talk. And I'm out.